Coucou les coucous! De retour à Dark Deity. J'ai pas joué en 4 jours. On continue. After fleeing from the Sylvan, the party follows the cloaked figure through the dense jungle. Est-ce que j'ai échoué avec mes écouteurs? Une seconde, oui. Ils étaient bien à l'envers. Fearful of the Sylvan's pursuit, they kept a swift pace. No one speak until they reach the temple. Je pense qu'on l'avait déjà lu. Eventually, they are able to catch their breath. C'est là qu'on était rendu, ouais. There, rising between the trees, it is the temple we seek. Gros temps. I know Alastair warned us not to delay, but not sure I expected a dash like this. C'est un cheval, toi! Vous êtes trois avec des chevaux, pis c'est une qui est avec des chevaux qui se plaint. Pourquoi vous êtes dans la forêt aussi, ça doit pas être évident non plus, là. Who is this Alastair?
Explain.
Wouldn't you like to know? Better yet, who are you? Mysterious one, have we?
How Fen?
I am a bounty hunter of sorts. In How Fen, we are known as wet workers. And what about in Netherlands? I bet back in that land they call you the extremely vague and bad at explaining. A man in my line of work finds use for many names. And how might that line of work have brought you to the Sylvans? Given how deadly he was at the elf camp, I think I can guess. Then I will not waste words. I must admit, you never seem in a danger of that. Lenel, is this it? Is this it, the temple? Yes, we should prepare. The Grand Vicar warned of a challenge. Well, there you have it. Wren of many names. We got where we're going. Your help is appreciated, but you're free to go.
You're mistaken.
No, you have steered the Sylvan hive. I would not travel alone. Well, then I hope you like creepy jungle temples. Suppose we could use the help, but you will follow our lead. Fine.
Rekindle your strength.
Take a moment to catch your breath. I don't expect this to be easy. We'll take in only what we need, and dare not take out more than necessary either. Yeah, ouais. Ok, fait qu'on... Un stalker... Je regarde un petit truc rapide, là. Es-tu déjà tiers 2? Unit, Rend... Non, il y a juste un set... Ah non, j'avais juste 0 stalker. You are nobility among your people, correct? I am. It's been many years since I traveled to Delia. Would you mind telling me if one of your traveling companions? Depends on what you're asking. My interest is simply cultural. You know that all of my kins are adepts. I am. I read of the exile while studying in my youth. I wish to know more about Orima, the Cenari.
I don't get it.
And you come to me for a history lesson? I don't know anything about him.
If you must know.
Not for a history lesson. Your lack of familiarity with history is why I sought you out. I wish to know how he has acted since joining you. Huh. Not very talkative. He's definitely had his share of bravery and honor. Seems like he really cares deeply about the cause, even with no personal stake. Not sure what to make of that. He is of singular purpose. You could say that, yes. He conducts himself with grace, never overstep his bounds. He is nothing like the Orima that fought in the arenas many years ago then.
Acceptable.
I don't expect so. I would imagine he settled down a great deal in his long isolation. I hope so. Thank you for indulging my interest. As you have familiarity with my people, I hope you do not find my presence distasteful. Who am I to judge? Oh, toi t'as beaucoup de blabla. Orima, hello Samara. Did you need something? Yes, teach me. I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to be more specific. I want to learn to fight like you. Before I even saw you in the arena, just from the way people spoke of you, I always did. I see you dance circle around your enemies with my own eyes. I want you to train me. Toi, t'es la cléric, right? Et quoi l'autre, c'est la mage, elle a le staff. I'm flattered, but I don't know what I have anything to critique. I've seen you fight with skill.
I can't help it.
Then you can see my abilities are nothing like yours.
misunderstand.
Samara, your gift lies in healing. I am an adept. We must each walk the path set before us. I don't want to walk. I want to run. Your eagerness will serve you well. I was the same in my youth, but it must be balanced with patience.
This makes no sense.
Patience. Just what am I waiting for exactly? Experience will translate to skill in time. No, just you in time. Then give me the experience I need. You wish to spar? Yes. Seems wherever I go, the fight is inescapable. Perhaps it is my fate. I mean, only if it is not a burden, of course. No, not at all. I will honor your zeal. It is an inspiration to me. But we must begin cautiously. I don't want either of us to put out the commission for the next fight. Sure, I'm ready when you are. Then let's begin. You will powerful magic, young wizard. Guess so. Honestly, I don't really try to. Kinda just happened. Then you have a natural ability. That is a gift. But you shouldn't let it toss you about. Feel like I've gotten used to that at this point. With some improvement to your form, you could. Best to start now. What do you think I should change? When you cast a spell, take a warrior stance. Plant your feet at shoulders width, and slightly at the knee and lean into the staff. This will help you anticipate the force of the spell. Huh? I hadn't thought of that. Maybe we could spar a bit so I can try it out.
You misunderstand.
I sense a theme here. Oh, battle is far better teacher than a sparring partner. Alright, I'll give it a go next chance I get. Think you could keep an eye out and let me know if I've got it? Hard not to notice your spellcasting, my friend. But yes, I will before. Thanks, we're really lucky to have you with us, Orima. For now at least, but I hope you'll think about staying. There's no shortening of things to think about in times like these, but with or without me, all you have an important role to play in the days ahead, and the means to accomplish your goals.
Yep.
That's right. I always knew my sister would do great things. In a way, graduating early turned out to be a good thing. Now I get to be part of it and help her. Sure, she depends on you more than she admits, Eldon. You have a lot to offer this group. I might even say more than most. But I wouldn't want that to go to your head. Then don't say it.
Are you sure?
I don't know about that. Good.
I like that.
A bit of humility will serve you at least as well as proper form. So tell me, was my trial as great a challenge as you anticipated? Greater. It was the greatest challenge and honor I had yet experienced.
You seem to have things under control.
And yet you prevailed. I had assistance. Indeed, some fight by strength, other by talent. Still, some by luck, but your strength comes from your skill.
I like that.
Your friends are fierce fighters, but you train long to fight as you do. I can respect that. C'est-tu le restant du groupe, les amis? Parce que on vous a basically rencontré les deux dans le même 5 minutes. Fierce as they were hardly my friends when I faced you. That's what I said. Our path had only just crossed up the road. Then you sought to challenge me alone?
That's right.
I did. You traveled many leagues to do so. Why? What drew you to it?
Failure is a great teacher.
I had learned all I could of the martial arts at the monastery. It was long past time to put my training to the test. I can't imagine that explanation was pleasing to your superiors. I came to discern the call of the gods, and when my training was complete, I heard it. I was called to challenge Orima, the Stenari. So it was. Well, I hope to remain worthy of your call. You've yet to give me a reason to doubt it. I must admit, I wasn't sure I'd see you again. You did tell me to return if anything went awry. I suppose I just didn't expect the mighty Orima to need my help. Theron's know it I needed before. Theron's knows I needed it before. Yes, and now it seems I need yours. Fate settles all mortal debt. A wise woman once told me that. Not wise enough. This business with Aspect, I wish I had more to tell you than I've told the others. There's no need to. You're serving your order faithfully. That's what matters. Perhaps. And what about you? Well, what about me? Why are you here with the group? I mean, instead of back in your den, tired of competition? Oh, I'm not sure I'd ever say that. Just looking for something new. Well, whatever you seek, I pray you find it. Do you really? Every morning and night, ever since you first left the temple, in fact. Thank you, Vesta. I look forward to the day the gods give their answer. Perhaps they already have. I am told they do that, from time to time. Orima, pardon me, I've read so much of your exploits, and now to finally meet you, well, suffice to say I'm honored you've decided to accompany us. J'aime que c'est comme si c'était la première fois que vous parlez, même si vous avez traversé un océan, une mer, en tout cas, une large étendue d'eau. You're shaking like a wet dog, elf. Have some dignity. What? Oh, I suppose I am. Perhaps there's a draft. So you are the one who led the others to my trial. Je me demande si c'est un Dark Elf, comme s'il y a plusieurs types d'elfes, comme les elfes qu'on a dans le groupe. Les Sylvan puis Corvan, c'est comme si c'était trois familles différentes, là. Yes, and it was no trivial task. You did not make yourself easily discoverable. If I had, I expect you might have found me too late. Before another challenger bested you, I hardly think it likely. I do not claim to have the power to single-handedly stem the tide of the armies of Aramor. Would armies have been sent after you? There are those with the power to stem them who gain much satisfaction from my death, even still.
I must write that down.
You must speak of those responsible for your exile. I speak of whom I speak.
Certainly.
Perhaps that was presumptuous of me to ask. We start at the beginning then. What was it like to grow up under the shadow of your father, the great mirage of the Silent Sands? And how should I share my story with you when I have yet to finish writing it myself?
Absurd.
We all must share our stories while we yet live, or we risk them being rewritten by others less reliable narrators. Is that a threat? Of course not, merely a humble historian's advice.
I'm getting too old for this.
Tu t'es perçu ça comme un threat, mon cher. Chill out. Come then, let us go where we might speak more privately. I will tell you of my father. Wonderful. Benji! Oramada Sonari, this is absolutely unreal! I take it you've heard of me?
Nothing less than the best.
From Sarah, yeah, sounds like where you came from, you're the best.
The arena.
That's some assertion, but I was the longest reigning champion of the arena before my exile.
Please clap.
Impressive. We didn't have an arena in Red Hill, but if we did, I would have been the same, just to give you a sense of my background. See, so you're a man who enjoy a good challenge then. If we turn one down, and it's a good thing we share this road. There's no telling what we'll face from one day to the next. That's what's so excited about all this traveling we're doing. Growing up in Red Hill, training day in and day out. I never knew the world was so big.
Things change.
And no matter how much of it you've seen, it's still bigger. Therizil is as alive as its inhabitants. No place is ever the same on the second visit. I've never thought about that, but you're absolutely right. Oh, sit with that. It should last you a while. Yeah. I am acknowledging you are an idiot. Rook, I have to ask you a favor.
You can't be serious.
That's not something you want to hear from your employer.
Of course.
I'll pay it in part of the job description, I assure you. Right, let's hear it. My sister's ability have improved quite rapidly of late, in part because she's been consistently testing her limits. While this has its advantage, I do worry she may soon find those limits. If you can, keep an eye on her and stay close. She may need a hand if she gets herself into trouble. And what about you? I'm not beyond needing help now and again, but I try not to stray far from those who might provide it. Sure. Alright, I can do that. That's it? What? Did you want me to draft up a contract? No, I guess I expected more resistance. You're the boss, it's just like they say. Don't cut off the hand that pays you. Feed you. I don't think people say that. We don't know the same people. No, I suppose we don't. Anyway, thank you. I feel a lot better about Samara knowing you're looking
Whatever
after
you
her.
say.
That's what I'm here for. I'm glad we're able to track you down in a timely manner, Corvan. From the tone of your letter, things seem quite urgent. Did they? Forgive me, that must have simply been my excitement bleeding through. Oh, I see. Well, you're lighter on your feet since I saw you last. Have you been training? Not exactly. I did have to improvise my way out of a couple of scuffles since our last meeting. Highwaymen? I wouldn't afford them the compliment of that title. No, ruffian more like it, tossing my scroll onto the roll, rummaging around for something of value. Any one of those texts would have sold for more gold than they'd ever hoped to find if they'd been able to read them. Sorry to hear that, Corvan. Must have been traumatic. Is there any risk of them discovering the document worth and coming back for more? Oh no, dear Sarah, not a chance. I made quite certain of that.
Well played.
I'm impressed, you murderer. Sound like you made a real rogue of yourself. Yes, well, chasing down answers to your inquiries has me spending more time in the field than I'm accustomed to. Certainly grateful I won't be chasing down our remaining leads alone. J'aime ça un researcher rogue, j'aime le principe.
Surely not.
No, that you won't, for better or for worse. We're here to stay now.
I'm sure of it.
For better, I expect. Can I take you up on your previous offer?
Hold on.
Excuse me? You offered to learn from me so that I might learn something better. I think I need that. Oh, right. I offer a lot of things, perhaps more than I can handle at times. You have to be more clear next time.
I'm following.
I'll have to inquire on that later, as interesting as it is. Feeling ready to learn some metaphysics?
Sure thing.
Not sure what that is, but I'm all in if that's what you need. You're really just the helpful type, aren't you? I like that. Alright, here's the problem that we're running into.
Hold on.
Sorry, but who is we? Sarah, Corvan, and I. You really need to ask? Anyway, what isn't add up with the aspect is that by all accounts, humans are capable of handling enough power to channel 2 of them. Yet we've seen the necromancer do that. And whoever that was on the battlefield, there is no chance that could have been achieved unaided. You're doing a lot of questioning and not a lot of teaching. I am uninitiated, and thus you must spell out what you think to me in simple terms. Right. Eternal aspects seem to amplify power rather than create it. But they require a certain level of power to activate in the first place. Fascinating.
This makes no sense.
We've been testing different techniques on how the ones we have, but neither Sarah nor I can get 2 to work at once. However, Corvan was able to activate 2 at once, but not 3.
Perhaps.
So you think that moon elves, okay, Corvan is our moon elf, are capable of maybe using 2 aspect? That's the running theory.
Hold on.
Have you considered that there are hundreds of other minute difference between you, Sarah, and Corvan that could explain it as well? No, I haven't. Sort of silly me, huh? Not silly, you're focused. It's easy to get too far into your work and forget to check all your points. We need a bigger sample. You need a bigger sample. Luckily, you got an adept in front of you that's happy to experiment with dangerous magic. Lucky for me. Princess. Samara works fine, Marin. Huh? Sorry. Just didn't want to be rude. You could do a lot worse. That's probably true. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you, I really admire your leadership, and your sisters. You're both such natural that you make it look easy. Seriously, we can't even agree among ourselves half the time. You speak with authority, and when you do, people listen. Especially your own people. We haven't seen their own people for a while now.
If you say so.
Took us all of our lives to garner that kind of respect. Plenty of leaders have tried for longer and failed to even get close to what you have. Besides, you're still pretty young, aren't you? Yes, we are. Sarah's always happy to remind me of that. Yep, I think that's the duty of an older sister. But I always tell Alden, isn't it good to be young again anyway? Yes and no, it has its advantage and disadvantage. It's just, it is what it is. That's a very practical way of looking at things. Even a princess has to come down to terror once in a while, right? God, Samara! You're shivering like crazy. Are you alright? Huh? Oh, I'm alright.
Huh?
You mind if I sit down with you?
If you say so.
Suppose that's fine. Do you always sit alone when you're feeling overwhelmed?
I can't help it.
I don't like for other people to see. Ever told you about the town I grew up in, Kirch? Never spoken longer than 5 seconds, Bianca. So no. It's a beautiful place, really. People talk about Red Hill and its rolling hills, but they never mention Kirch. A little further out of the way, sure, but it's just as beautiful, if not more. Anyway, my older brother and I would spend all day long just running around in the cornfield when we were younger. Sounds nice. I never really had the chance to frolic as a child. Well, you're a princess. I'm a
This
commoner.
makes no sense.
You look more regal than the princess, just saying. I wish people would stop using that word. There's no difference between you and I. I frolic, you learn. There's a difference, even if it is an unimportant one. You don't see me any differently?
How cute!
Of course not. You're calling the princess cute. In a condescending way, of course. I see. Thank you for sitting with me. This was all just a distraction, huh?
Could be.
Depends how you look at it now, doesn't it? Goodness, Amara, you startled me. Did you need something?
No!
Just taking a look. These are your notes?
Certainly.
Would appear so. Nice, looks pretty extensive. Any luck locating our next find? If you recall, I recently came into a divine spot of luck locating the fireball champion of Oasis. As the luster warned so quickly... I'm sorry, Corvin, I didn't mean it like that. Orma truly was an incredible find. I thought at best he might set us on the right path, but to actually join us? Not even sure I believe it was really him until the trial.
I'm sure of it.
Yes, the trial certainly removed all doubt. You know, it's exciting to finally join you in your adventures. Reading about all your discoveries and exploits from my bedchamber was bordering on torturous. A wellspring of compliment today, are we? You know what I mean. I just couldn't help but feel I was missing out on the excitement. Yes, well in that case you've joined me just in time. My exploits have been significantly more exciting of late. Though I'm not sure I prefer them that way.
I'm following.
I do. I'm glad to be on the road.
How?
To be frank, it baffles me how anyone could grow tired of the royal palace. You get tired of staring at the wall eventually, no matter what it's made of. Say so. Got a lot of weapons on you, Brooke. Corde, dague, c'est tout ce qu'on voit, je pense. Peut-être de quoi ces jambes que je vois pas. And those are just the one you can see.
Wow!
Did you really use them all? When necessary. A variety of tools help one stay prepared for anything. I bet. I heard Ren talking about it. What it's like to be, to do your kind of work. To be an assassin? Yeah, he said it was like being an artist. In Naja, anyway. I don't know if it's the same in Carmont. I think it's more like being a scientist. A thorough study of anatomy, for instance, serves an assassin well. Are we talking about death grips? My friend used to talk about those back at the academy. Those are related. There are certain vital points in the body that allows one to be compromised if they are targeted correctly. Some differ between human and elf, for example, but many are the same. Actually, I could teach you if you like.
Please!
Could you really? Yes, but you have to promise not to say a word of it to your sister. I can do that. Are you sure? Yeah, this is gonna help a lot with close combat.
Fine.
Alright, but before we try anything, we need to start with some biology. Run and ask Corvin for some parchment and some charcoal. If he puts up a fight, tell him it's for me, and I'm not asking. You got it. Aw man, this is gonna be awesome! I don't know how I feel about that. Hey, pourtant j'ai pas rien vu avec Caius. That pelt, the one you've been tanning, was it your kill?
Uh-huh.
Yep, not too long ago actually, just sort of wanted into camp. Fortunate. For me, yeah, not so much for the little guy. Doesn't look little. Figure of speech.
I wonder.
I see, do you enjoy the hunt? I do, helps clear the mind somehow. Especially when I can't get out there in the wild. You find solace in nature? Yeah, in the quiet mostly. Sure you understand that best of all. I did have occasion to travel to Escarnus one frost sol. I was struck by the snow. Nature's silence usually draws one's attention to sound not otherwise heard. This was a true silence. And yet, somehow, it wasn't empty. It was full. Think I know what you mean. I'd actually never seen snow before I joined the army. When I did, there was something almost supernatural about it. It was beautiful. You're wise to take time to notice such things. A heart that makes no room for wonder grows easily hardened. Sometimes I wonder if I couldn't use a little of that. Toughen up a bit. Nonsense. Your generous heart is a gift. Just think, if it weren't for your concern for the life of innocence, fate may never have brought you to us, and Red Hill might have shared the same fate as Alaris. That's not a pretty picture. No, it's not. I, for one, am grateful for any circumstances that align your path to ours. Wow. That's quite a compliment. Thanks for saying that, Elena. Grateful to be here, too. It is good to be in the company of another woman of faith. It seems we've both heard higher calls. Followed them along different paths. Suppose that's true. Where did you discern? Based on your dress, I guess Wushang. But I'm not familiar with all of the monasteries.
That's right.
You are correct. Seems you're well acquainted with the Silent Way. I grew up on Veroa. My father conducted archival work for the various faith tradition Foldeban. There was a temple in the city. Have you visited the Tranquil Isle?
I'm afraid not.
No, but I did have occasion to meet the patient mother once when I was very little. She had a piece about her that struck me.
The Silent Guide.
Such a piece can only come through silence. There's something to be said for that. There's an awful lot of noise these days. No thanks to the war. Indeed, it seems a pity that one man's pride should cost so many lives.
Agreed.
Certainly. What was it like, the Tranquil Isle, I mean? Beautiful. My thought often dwell on it. I think often of home myself, the place I miss, friends, family. Do you still have family on Veroa? Not any worth missing. See, well, on the bright side, I imagine that left you somewhat free to pursue your vocation.
Failure is a great teacher.
She who comes to see a trialless gift find riches beyond measure. Okay. True, though that's no small task. Maybe you can teach me how you do it. I've plenty yet to learn myself. I'm not sure that ever changes. No, I don't believe it does. Feeling any better? You look better. I'm glad I don't look worse. Hard to imagine what that would look like at all. Thanks, Garrick. Don't mention it. So your father's an interesting character. Certainly larger than life. He has your same commanding presence. That must be where you get it from. Suppose it's possible? Is he all you expected him to be? Not sure what I expected. He's impressive to be sure, but still a man. I'm told this is a stage most children go through. Often later in life where they discover their parents' limitations and flaws. I'm not so familiar with it myself, as I was painfully aware of my own father's flaw from the moment I was capable of awareness in any capacity. Yes, Garrick, anyone who's spoken to you for more than a moment knows that. I'm also told consistently of character is something to be admired.
Not quite.
I'd like to know where you've been getting your advice. Oh, you know, just thing I've picked up here and there. Maybe you should be more careful with your hands.
Well, what do you know?
Maybe you should say so. I've been told that before too. Sure you have. Y a pas d'autre weapon qu'on voit nécessairement. Alright. Bon ben ça va être ça l'épisode. Unit Ren, as-tu un truc machin? Non. Inventory, convoy, strength and speed. Si je regarde Aroma, 23. Un stalker, ouais, je sais pas. Bref, je vais. Ok, toi, Unit Ren, qu'est-ce que t'as? Un toucher automatique, 5% chance to insta-kill. Fait que toi, on va aller en power straight up. Considérant que quand un unit est en bas du 40%, tu as ton 100% de chance de le toucher. Fait que l'accuracy est moins importante pour toi. Smack, t'es pas le premier à agir, bien sûr. Anyway, je vais brûler mes ressources, puis on va commencer. On va continuer la prochaine fois. Alors, au revoir et à bientôt.